I've worked a lot of jobs in my life: warehouse loader, parking attendant, even graveyard shifts at diners. I'm no stranger to long nights and quiet hours. But nothing, and I mean nothing, ever came close to what I experienced when I took the job as a night guard at Briarwood Mall. The ad was simple. Overnight security needed, $27 hour. Experience preferred, must be comfortable working alone. That last line should have been a red flag, but I was desperate. Rent was late, my fridge was empty, and I figured, hell, it's just a mall. What could go wrong? I applied and got a call that same evening. A woman named Miss Alden asked if I could come in for a quick walkthrough before midnight. "We need someone right away," she said. That should have been the second red flag. When I arrived, the mall was already locked down. The exterior lights gave it a dim, eerie glow, like a forgotten monument to a time when malls actually mattered. Ms. Alden met me at the staff entrance. She was tall, cold, and sharp-featured, with eyes like dead glass and a clipboard glued to her hand. She walked fast and talked faster. She gave me the rundown. Stay in the security office between patrols, do your rounds every hour, check the cameras regularly. That's it. But just before I left to start my shift, she handed me another sheet. This one was handwritten, the title scrawled in all caps across the top. Rules for Survival, Night Shift. I laughed, assuming it was some kind of joke. Ms. Alden didn't. "Read them," she said, "and follow them. Everyone. Don't ask questions." And then she walked away. The security office was a cramped box with stale air, buzzing monitors, and flickering fluorescent lights. I skimmed the list of rules, still convinced it was just hazing or weird protocol. Rule 1. Do not answer the phone if it rings after 3:33 a.m. Rule 2. The carousel in the children's zone may begin moving. Do not approach it. Rule 3. If you hear tapping from inside the vending machines, leave the area immediately. I snorted. Vending machine goblins? Really? I folded the list, stuffed it in my back pocket, poured myself a bitter cup of office coffee, and settled in front of the monitors. The first patrol was uneventful. Dark storefronts, a silent food court. The only movement came from flickering lights and the occasional scurry of what I hoped were mice. I passed the carousel. It was still. Dusty horses frozen mid-gallop beneath cracked bulbs. I kept walking. But around 1:15 a.m., things changed. It started with the monitors. Cam 6 covering the west wing flickered and then cut to static. I tapped the screen. Nothing. Just white noise. I figured a cable had come loose and headed out to check. The west wing was mostly abandoned. Old stores, broken kiosks, and that one toy shop that had been shuttered since the fire last year. The hallway was unnaturally cold. My footsteps echoed like I was walking through a cavern. When I reached the end, I glanced at the toy store's glass front. That's when I saw it. Through the hallway window, barely visible, the carousel was spinning. No music, just the slow, deliberate up and down of its painted horses. I hadn't heard it start, and I definitely hadn't gone near it. Then Rule 2 rang in my mind. Do not approach it. I turned around and walked back to the office. No running, no looking back. Back inside, I pulled out the rules. Rule 4. If someone knocks on the office door and asks for help, do not respond. They are not real. Rule 5. If the janitor shows up, ask him what year it is. If he doesn't answer correctly, lock the office immediately. At exactly 2:37 a.m., I heard a knock. 3 knocks. Even, slow, measured. I froze. The hallway cam showed nothing. But I knew better now. "Help," a voice whispered through the door. "Please, they won't stop following me." She sounded young, early 20s, sobbing. It was the kind of voice that makes you reach for the door before your brain can say no. I didn't move. She kept pleading, crying, scratching at the metal. Then, silence. Dead silence. Finally exhaled. And that's when something else happened. The vending machines shook. The camera feed flickered, but I saw it, barely. The machine was rocking, like something inside was trying to get out. Tap, tap, tap. I stood up and backed away from the screen. Rule 3. If you hear tapping from inside the vending machines, leave the area immediately. I didn't wait. I slipped out of the office and moved to a safe distance, far enough to see, close enough to run if I had to. The tapping stopped. The machine stilled. Then something crawled out of the bottom. I didn't get a good look. It was fast, too fast. But tall, thin, wrong, like a shadow from something with too many arms. I stood frozen, shaking. I couldn't breathe. Then, right at 3:33 a.m., the office phone rang. I bolted. My shift was set to end at 6, but at 5:48 a.m., someone appeared in the hallway. A man, tall, thin, wearing a janitor's uniform. He waved at the security camera, then walked to the office door and knocked. I cracked it open just an inch. "Hey, just doing a final sweep," he said. "Mind if I come in and warm up a bit?" Something felt wrong. I remembered Rule 5. "What year is it?" I asked. He paused, smiled. "Does it matter?" I slammed the door in his face. He didn't knock again, didn't move. He just stood there, smiling, until exactly 6 a.m. When I opened the door again, he was gone. Ms. Alden met me in the parking lot. "You lasted longer than most," she said. I handed her the keys and told her I wouldn't be coming back. She didn't seem surprised. As I drove away, the sunrise barely breaking over the trees, I made a promise to myself. Never again, never another night shift, never another lonely building with rules. And if you ever get offered a job guarding a mall overnight, ask for the rules, because some places, they're not just empty at night.